Ferrari's weekend at Zandvoort ended in disaster. Both cars were forced out after separate crashes, and the team now heads to its home race in Monza under real pressure. Can the Maranello squad recover? And more importantly, will Hamilton finally feel confident in his car before the new rules arrive? We're used to surprises from Ferrari, but Zandvoort was still a shock. Hamilton's accident looked like more evidence that the seven-time champion isn't comfortable with the car, and his blunt assessment won't calm his supporters. After his crash at turn 3, which brought out the safety car when the rear slid as he climbed the banking, he told Sky Sports F1 he wasn't sure what caused it and would have to review the footage. He said the back snapped out and he couldn't save it, calling the car a bit twitchy, though he did add that the team had made real progress over the weekend. My pace felt strong. I was reeling Russell in and seemed quicker than a few cars ahead, so it was strange to be out so early. DNFing that soon is never ideal, but sometimes that's just how it goes. The worst thing, though, is hearing the driver say he has no clue what caused the crash. That usually means he hasn't figured the challenger out yet, and we're already 15 races into the season. Adapting to a new driving style does take time, but many are starting to wonder if Hamilton at 40 still has what it takes. The new regulations will decide whether he and Ferrari can silence the doubters, but right now the story is turning against them. Vasseur has defended the move, saying Hamilton ran a little wide in the corner and that overall he drove well this weekend and one incident shouldn't erase his progress. The trouble is, Ferrari and Hamilton too often lean on Fred's assumptions instead of showing solid on-track proof. Watching Hamilton drive like this makes you worry about what 2026 might bring. This story isn't over for Lewis, but he did set a surprising record nobody expected at the start of 2024. He now has the most races for Ferrari without a podium, 15. If you counted sprint races, this wouldn't hold, but sprints aren't included in that stat, so it's still a painful milestone for fans. People are starting to ask whether leaving Mercedes was the right move. He's 6th in the Drivers' Championship, and together with Albon is one of only 2 top 10 drivers without a podium. That's both encouraging and worrying. He's reliable and gradually getting to grips with the car, but it's taking far too long. He's already behind Leclerc, and to make things worse, his crash may have ruined what could have been a great result for his teammate. Ferrari brought Leclerc in at just the right moment to switch to the hard tyres, giving him a real chance to launch a string of quick laps and push for the podium. But just as he was about to do that, Hamilton crashed and ruined the opportunity. Leclerc's response was exactly what you'd expect, frustrated and calling it bad luck. Things then went from bad to worse when he collided with Kimi Antonelli. Leclerc says he wasn't to blame. It wasn't down to cold tyres or being too close coming out of the pits. One positive from the weekend was Ferrari's strategy. It looked strong enough to put at least one car in contention for a podium. Hamilton had been staying within DRS range of Russell, and when Leclerc went for an aggressive move on the Mercedes, we thought we might see the hungry attacking driver we've missed. Instead, the move ended in a crash with Antonelli, which Leclerc blamed on the young Mercedes driver, saying Antonelli was too aggressive, clipped his rear left and ended his race. He called it very disappointing. The tyres were actually fine, but Kimi's outlap looked really strong, so the team probably decided to pit me because they feared he would pass us again. I left the track frustrated, but this isn't really a strategy story. It was Kimi's error that wasted everything we'd worked for. You could see how furious Leclerc was. After the crash, he didn't even go back to the garage. He sat by the accident site, staring off and maybe replaying what went wrong and what to do next. A switch to another team isn't likely anytime soon, but bad luck plants doubt, and when a new opportunity appears, I'm sure Charles will think twice. It's worth remembering he insisted the tyre change wasn't necessary. He felt he could either finish on those tyres or have a real shot at Antonelli late in the race. Either way, this marks the first race since the Chinese GP where neither Ferrari driver scored points, and it couldn't have come at a worse moment. To make matters worse, Leclerc might face a penalty before Monza for an overtake on Russell, where he wasn't ahead but still completed the move. Toto Wolff has even admitted he feels partly to blame for what Antonelli did to Charles. He said he doesn't want Leclerc to pick up a grid penalty for Monza after losing his race because of one of their cars. Wolff also argued the left-hand gap wasn't a real place to pass. You can try to squeeze in, but it's not going to fit. So he leans toward calling it Charles's mistake. Next up is Monza, the temple of speed, and effectively Ferrari's second home after Imola. The Tifosi will be desperate for a strong showing to help erase the bad memories from Zandvoort, and you can hardly blame them. This is Ferrari we're talking about. Remember Leclerc's brilliant defence last year to keep Piastri at bay and win in front of his fans. Still, that's why we should be careful about expectations. Ferrari hasn't always come through when it matters most. Lewis Hamilton says he won't dwell on his own error and expects his team to come back stronger. "I'll get over the crash by tomorrow and get back on it next week," he said. Fair enough. But until we see it on the track, it's wise to stay cautious, because with this sport, nothing is guaranteed. I'm all right, but I'm really disappointed for the team. I wanted those points badly and honestly felt I had the speed to catch the cars ahead, so I was hoping we'd make real progress in the race. Then things fell apart. With that in mind, it's hard not to feel for Ferrari fans. The big question is, will Monza bury their hopes even more, or can the Maranello team recover when it matters most? What do you think? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.